Hi, AFI Movie Club. I'm Malcolm D. Lee. I am the writer, director, producer of The Best Man Holiday, as well as The Best Man, if you didn't see that.
Everyone, I can't tell you how good it is to have all of us under the same roof again. And Brian, welcome.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. I wish it could be for the whole weekend.
Oh, where you guys headed?
Oh, it's just him.
Oh,
One of the reasons I selected this scene was just because there's so much subtext that's happening with the characters. And, it's so funny when I was talking to the studio about this, they were often saying, we need some more actionable things in here. And I'm like, it's all there. There's not so much in the dialogue, but in the looks of the characters. You got tension between Robin and Jordan, Harper trying to get information out of Lance in kind of his neo-journalistic way to get him to open up about his football career. A lot is going on.
so Lance, y'all making the playoffs this year or what?
Oh, yeah, that Atlanta D is pretty tough.
It is tough, but we will definitely make the playoffs.
Even this exchange between Candace and Shelby.
How many more yards is it to go?
Really? We're gonna talk about football all night?
Oh, I am so sorry, Shelby. Please, fill us all in on the scintillating world of mudslinging housewives.
Candace.
Scintillating. Such a big word.
Because Candace swooped in and took merch from her, there's always that lingering tension. And then here, Harper is trying to find the right segue into Lance's first NFL yards. He's closing in on the end of his career.
You remember your first pro yards?
Okay, I'll just leave.
Well, why don't you hop on that broom and fly back out the window?
So we wanted to have him plant the seed here. And later on, when they're having an intimate moment, when they become much closer, after they discover how, Mia is sick, they begin to become friends again and bond again. And he actually tells them the story of his first yards. So it's a very genuine thing and authentic.
So, Merch, how's the fundraising going?
Oh, we ran into a snag this week.
Really? Mm-hmm. I mean, is it Elliot?
Yeah, he's not contributing this year.
Elliot Gibson, the philanthropist. Isn't he a bit of a morality nut?
Yeah, that's him.
Merch has a secret that he's keeping from Candy and only Quentin knows about.
We got you. What's his usual contribution?
$2 million.
Oh, hell no.
Quentin is trying to play a shield for Merch because Candace's stripper pass has come up and is thwarting the efforts of his fundraising for the school.
Listen, I have a fabulous weekend planned, and after dessert, it's pajama time.
Harper has a secret that he's keeping from everybody, but Jordan in the scene picks up on it.
So about those yards, Lance, you remember your first...
I'm sorry, can I trouble you with the bathroom?
Of course, Lance, could you?
Jordan picks up on what Harper is actually doing with Lance because she is also very inquisitive and also very intuitive. But of course, the dutiful wife, Robin, has a issue because she's pregnant and she has to go to the bathroom. And that kills Harper's chance of asking Lance any more questions. It was one of those scenes that I felt really good about because I'll tell you, it's really complicated and I still have not mastered it as of yet because of eye lines, right? He's looking left, she's looking right. You must, honor that. But no, she's also going to be talking to this person in that scene. She's going to be talking to that person in that scene. For instance, when Quentin slams his hand down and says, to hell with that, right? Completely the wrong angle because it's not the angle that's Merch and Candy's, but it works because we've been jumping around the table so much. And it was the most dynamic take there was that he did on that for that particular moment. So you just have to plan it out with your director of photography and your script supervisor. They have very good insight of where to place the camera and how and who's going to be talking to whom. And in fact, Greg mentioned an oval table, so it'd be easier to place the camera as opposed to a square thing, get them a lot more intimately involved with one another. The other thing is, with a dinner scene, and I told the actors, look, I've seen plenty of dinner scenes or meal scenes where people don't eat, right? I was like, you guys have got to eat. And you can even see just little things like doing this with his teeth before he got to speak. Those are the little things that you want to make it all feel authentic. For those of you who have seen the movie, it all came to a head when Candace's stripper pass came up.
I am going to resign, Julian.
Absolutely not.
Even from the very beginning, I wanted to show this couple at odds and do with their singles and keep it pretty simple with their overs. I told Harold to approach and I told Regina, keep him away from you. You have to control the narrative here. You're controlling the scene. You need to talk. And I wanted her to deliver this line about her having done what was on the tape was true, and she confessed it, but she didn't want to face her husband to say it.
I needed the money, okay?
And was just hoping that he'd be okay with it, forgive her. And obviously this is a scene about forgiveness, not just, her asking for forgiveness, which she really doesn't even have to because that's in her past, and him asking for forgiveness for not coming to her about this whole thing from the beginning so they could figure it out together. These are the kind of stories and themes we explore in The Best Man. It's like, manhood and what does it mean to be a man, and like, what is that, where does that strength come from, and like, and how does that manifest itself? It's just brilliant, their acting. And Regina was sick this day. She had like a really high fever, but they're both professionals and tremendous actors. And like when I was behind the monitor watching it, I was tearing up like terribly because they were so convincing and I believed them.
But I have moved on, and I am those girls' mother. And Julian, I am your wife. Come to me first.
Yes, baby, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh my, you and those girls are my entire life. Please forgive me. Please.
Yes. Baby. I love you, Julian.
I'm so sorry.
I love you.
What I wanted to do with this movie overall was to give the audience, particularly the African-American audience, a catharsis. Rarely do African-American audiences get to like emote at the theater. General audiences have had beaches and The Big Chill and Terms of Endearment. Like Black audiences, they'll cry in the movies, but it's like Boys in the Hood, he would get shot or something like that. And those movies are extremely valid, but I think in terms of the industry as well, I mean, it made people think differently about African-American content. In fact, the year 2013, when Best Man came out, there were like 5 Black Christmas movies coming out. It was like Mine, it was Medea's Christmas, Casey Lemons had a nativity story, but I had been thinking about it for a very long time, that I really wanted to set something like, set the movie around an event. And Christmas seemed to be a good time. The holidays are a time when people gather, and you remember the year past, and you remember your friends, and when we all kind of slow down a little bit and start to say, okay, let's reconnect. It just brings a lot of warmth, like people, and especially seeing all those beautiful actors, like kind of like in their Christmas red, and and laughing and smiling, and looking tasty and everything. Like they just, people want to be a part of that.